you and welcome to Opinion 2018. This Friday, 12th of January 2018. Would you believe it? 12 days of January already gone. Now this day we're having a look at the state of education in Kenya. I mean, it's a state of confusion for parents, for teachers. There are pledges that were made last year in the campaign season, in the heat of the moment. Well, the hour of reckoning has come. And is there free education? Or where is free education? And in studio, I'm joined by Bosibori Kimari. How are you, dear?
Fine, thanks.
Very good to see you. She's a marketer, she's a journalist, and a political commentator. Allow me to deliver apologies on behalf of Honorable Peter Mathuki, who is the Deputy Governor of Honorable Her Excellency Honorable Wavinya Ndeti. That was the pair that was running for the Machakos gubernatorial seat. Honorable Mathuki also is a former member of the East African Legislative Assembly. He is currently holed up in a meeting at Wiper House. The entire Wiper NEC is meeting to put forward modalities of having free and fair nominations to fill up the position of the Kitui West, the late Kitui West Member of Parliament, Francis Nyenze, who was laid to rest just about 2 weeks ago. So his apologies there. There were very many viewers who are waiting for him, and we just have to go on with the show. He's going to be joining us sometimes next week. Let me just go through a few comments, Bossy. Can you people give us news concerning the upcoming Ukambani's People Assembly meeting and stop all this? We are losing many die-hard fans. We'll get there. There's a meeting going on about that, and as soon as it's done, we're going to give you the details. This is the best solution for civil disobedience. Now, there's some fight here. Eugene Nicole is saying, we have moved on. He was answered. Okay, I cannot say that word. Inafanya nini? NASA, have you ever seen me in Jubilee? Well, I don't know. Stella Kingo, you're saying, stop wasting bundles commenting on NASA posts. Concentrate on Central Republic issues. Leave us in the Republic of Canaan. Wow, very well. Bossy,
yes.
Wajir, something has happened.
Yes.
The election, there was a petition challenging the election of the governor. And this is the first petition in Kenya that has thrown out a governor. It is believed that his academic papers were suspicious, now that we're talking about the state of education in Kenya.
Yes. He claimed he had done his master's degree in 6 months from Kampala University.
Wow.
Yeah, and he didn't actually have the degree certificate. He just had something showing that Kampala University is an accredited institution. So that was obviously thrown out. Wow. And a lot of his other certificates didn't have watermarks. There were just questions of their authenticity.
Okay, so that's one governor, so that's a by-election coming, but
yes.
He cannot participate in the by-election.
Oh, no, he can't.
He's basically been barred.
Yes.
So that's him. There's Mythical Inturi, and a host of others.
Waititu. Yeah.
Oh, did you say Waititu?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know about Waititu, but I hear he was in Punjab. Maybe there are places where things happen a bit faster. There are places where concrete dries a bit faster.
Yeah, you get degrees in 2 months.
Yeah, so there's Kampala, there's Punjab.
Yeah.
Well, there we are. Then that's our system really. And it does indicate how rotten our system is as far as education is. And how shameless we have become, that even those who have not gone through the proper channels are not afraid to seek leadership positions.
Exactly.
Now, let's get into the topic of today, free education. NASA, in its manifesto launch, made it clear that there will be free secondary education. Now, in the campaign period, it was wakitangaza, tunatangaza.
Yes.
So, yes, NASA said free secondary education. And Jubilee followed suit, Uhuru Kenyatta making the announcement. So now it is January, and the question is, where is the free education?
Exactly.
Just to refresh your memory, let's have a look at that clip of Uhuru Kenyatta mentioning that from January, which is this month, our students will go to school from 1 to Form 4 free of charge.
Sasa sisi tunawaahidi wa Kenya kulingana na hiyo safari ambayo tumetembea, na kama Wakenya wanakumbuka tulisema twaenda safari ya miaka mitatu na pahali ambapo sasa tuwaelekea Januari ya mwaka ujao ni ya kwamba hakuna mzazi ambaye atalipishwa mtoto wake asome akiwa amesimamiwa na serikali kutoka form 1 mpaka form 4. Sasa sisi tunawaahidi wa Kenya kulingana na hiyo safari ambayo tumetembea, na kama Wakenya wanakumbuka, tulisema twaenda safari ya miaka mitatu, na pahali ambapo sasa tuwaelekea Januari ya mwaka ujao ni ya kwamba hakuna mzazi ambaye atalipishwa mtoto wake asome akiwa amesimamiwa na serikali kutoka form 1 mpaka form 4. Sasa sisi tunawaahidi wa Kenya kulingana na hiyo safari ambayo tumetembea, na kama Wakenya wanakumbuka, tulisema twaenda safari ya miaka mitatu, na pahali ambapo sasa tuwaelekea Januari ya mwaka ujao ni ya kwamba hakuna mzazi ambaye atalipishwa mtoto wake asome akiwa amesimamiwa na serikali kutoka form 1 mpaka form 4. Sasa sisi tunawaahidi wa Kenya kulingana na hiyo safari ambayo tumetembea, na kama Wakenya wanakumbuka, tulisema twaenda safari ya miaka mitatu, na pahali ambapo sasa tuwaelekea Januari ya mwaka ujao ni ya kwamba hakuna mzazi ambaye atalipishwa mtoto wake asome akiwa amesimamiwa na serikali.
Very well, there you have it. Uhuru Kenyatta making it clear that from January, courtesy of Jubilee, well, I do not want to say Jubilee government because there are those who believe that this government is illegitimate, like and he's an illegitimate president. Yeah. Very well, but that Jubilee will make sure that there will be free secondary education, that every single child who qualifies for high school education will go free of charge.
Yeah, and they pledged that there would be 100% transition from primary school to secondary school.
Right.
And I think they set aside 25 billion shillings.
Right.
This was as per the newspapers in September.
In September, yes.
But we hear stories of a lot of, of course we know parents have had to pay school fees. Right. And in addition to that, there are cartels running programs whereby if you want your child in a particular school, I know of a case where a child had over 410 marks, and still their mother had to pay a bribe to get them into a national school. And I'm just wondering how much money are these cartels making, because some schools, some agents are charging up to 200,000 shillings per child to get them into certain schools. So now
we have agents who ensure that your child gets to the right school, regardless of the marks.
Of the marks. And you, with a smart child with a high grades, will probably miss out on a school because you couldn't afford to pay the agent.
Wow. Well, you can let us know if you're aware of any of such cases. Let me just go through some comments here quickly. Cornelius, you're saying, Kurgat, you must watch this. You're a disgrace. Well, I don't know who Kurgat is. Jimmy Momo, you're saying streaming. Okay, Total Man, you're saying live from Othaya, Nyeri County. Well, thank you. Well, NASA TV seems to have lots of supporters and fans from Nyeri County. Very encouraging. I took the liberty today to go and interview a lady who's a teacher and a parent. And she revealed some very disturbing things to me. The first part of my interview with her, let's just have a look as to what parents have got to go through during the admission period. And is it true that there is free secondary education? Take a look.
Wow. To me, it's a desperate thing. I got the form, of which I went to the Simba. They gave me the form. My daughter was called at Buruburu Girls, where I was supposed to admit her on Tuesday. I had no enough money to take her on Tuesday. Now, yesterday, I left here around 9. I went to Buruburu. We were told to queue. I found some around 6 parents ahead of me. When my time came, I went inside. They told me to give them the pay slip, that is what I paid for the school. I gave them, I had paid 12,000. They told me, Mama, we are not admitting your daughter unless you meet our target of 30,000 shillings. I had nothing. I told them to wait. I will give them the money by the end of the month. They told me they don't have that time to wait because there are other students who want to join the school and their charges are not available. So if my daughter will go, all my daughter will join the school. That is the section, that is school. They will agree. But according to what I tell them to wait, they will receive the school fees on that is the end of this month. They refused. So I was there. They told me to take my daughter's things. I keep them at a corner there. Then I go home and I bring the amount today before noon. If noon reaches when I've not given the amount, my daughter's charge will be taken by another student. So God intervened inside and I paid the money. So there is no free education. Wow.
There you go. She said it. There is nothing like free education. So did Uhuru Kenyatta lie to Kenyans in their face?
Of course he lied to us. He lied about the stadiums, where the laptops, free secondary education, where's the irrigation scheme. It's just lies. It's just lies to get him re-elected. And he wasn't even re-elected. So I think it was lies to facilitate the rigging and whatever else happened afterwards.
Jared Job, you're saying liars never survive for long. Judy Lee, you're saying he thought January will never come. Tano Terror.
Tano Terror.
Wow. I mean, is this synonymous with Jubilee? This is becoming pathological. And my problem is, it is so unapologetic. He hasn't said a word. And Matiang'i is behaving in such an abrasive fashion. And it's a non-issue. You go to school, you don't have money, that is it.
You're not even going to go to school. I've just read a story in the paper today about a girl who had absolutely nothing. She's gone to Butere Girls' School and she's reported to school in her primary school uniform. She's traveled from, Nambale to Butere, and all she had was 200 shillings, which paid for the fare there. And the teacher admitted her, the principal admitted her to the school and said, we just hope a good Samaritan will come forward. Well, what if they don't then? Education is just a luxury?
Kenya is a country where 7% of the population lives below the poverty line. Can we hope for good Samaritans for all the kids in those families to get through their education?
How about the government starts doing with the money what it should be doing? For example, where's this 25 billion which has been allocated to provide
I'm worried when I hear
education?
words like money is allocated for infrastructure. It brings things like Eurobond in mind. The whole of Eurobond, which was about 300-400 billion, was said to have gone to infrastructure projects, which nobody could point to. You cannot tell me that between September and January, they've built classrooms, they've done all these infrastructure projects that is needed. So it could be just money in people's pockets.
Of course.
Again.
Of course. That is what did Davindi say? But Jubilee is just procurement based. It's just about writing tenders and giving tenders to cartels. The money doesn't filter down to the electorate. It doesn't. It's just stolen.
Very well, there you have it. It's clear. It's in your face. There's nothing like free secondary education, at least under Jubilee. Let's move on to the next bit of the discussion. There was an announcement that national schools will have to have sections that accommodate day scholars to increase the uptake so that we come to this 100% transition from primary to secondary. Not all schools are in agreement, and the director of Starehe Boys Center made it very clear that they're not willing to take up day scholars. Take a look.
Our feeling is that if we have very many boys coming out of our reach in the evenings and in the morning, then we risk introducing these vices into the school, that would interfere with the values that we want to inculcate and the character formation process that we undertake. We live in a challenged neighborhood. We have a very challenged neighborhood that is full of crime, drugs and other things. Our thinking is that if we can get support to put up additional boarding space, then we would be able to take additional students. Our feeling is that...
There you go, Director of Starehe Boys Center. Before we get into that, Wesley Cheptarus Kanda, watching from Elgeyo Marakwet. I love you, Democrats. Baba Apishwe, nothing else. Well, this swearing in is not going away.
Yeah. 30th January, it's not so long.
Yeah, 30th January is not so far.
Yeah.
So yes, Starehe Boys Center, the director has made it clear. His reasons are, Starehe is situated in an environment that is crime-prone, etc. Well, I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't exactly buy that. I went to a school that shared a fence with Starehe Boys Center. That's Resco's Primary School. And we had people who joined Starehe Boys Center, people who live around. I mean, you cannot tell me that it's only day scholars who bring in maybe vices into schools. We have boarding schools that are bullying, that people have died. Yeah. Students have been burnt in boarding schools to death.
Well, in my opinion, not necessarily that those vices are exclusive to day pupils being in boarding schools.
Right.
But I think if you're in a boarding school and you have kids who go home every day, they have access to drugs, you know, porn, films, I don't know, them being exposed are bringing it back to you. When you're all in boarding school, then you're kind of confined. And I think there's a limit to how much you can be exposed to. But I'm not,
No, I mean, that's a bit offensive. If
If
Starehe Boys Center
yes.
was in the middle of Lavington, or in the middle of Muthaiga, or in the middle of Karen, will this guy have the same sentiment?
No, I'm just saying wherever the school is located, if you have kids going home every evening and coming back in the morning, it's much easier for them to introduce things back to the borders. This is what I think. Or in a day school, for example, the same thing that exists in a day school all the time. I suppose the boarding school pupils are not as protected. They're not in as much a protected environment.
But a lot of these boarding schools, I mean, have all these people drink, a lot of people are introduced to bang in boarding schools, which don't necessarily have day scholars.
Yes, they are, but you see, you have to go out to get the bang. So now, if you're in boarding school, you're going on half term or you're sending somebody, you know,
Well, somebody could get the bang in.
Yes.
I mean,
but I'm saying it has to come out from out of the school. It has to come out from out of the school. So if you have kids who are coming in and out every day, then it's easier for them.
The other question is then, who is in charge? Because as the director of Starehe or Alliance or wherever, do I have the leeway to say, I cannot do this? It's government policy that we have free education, and there are not enough number of high schools compared to day schools, to primary schools. So who am I as a principal to say, you know, I'm not doing this? Or are there some special schools as it appears?
Well, remember when the IEBC was forced to open the servers, they didn't for quite a while. So I don't know, in Kenya, I don't know if it actually matters whether there's a directive issued from above. I think it's just optional what you want to do.
Well,
seems like
that just points to the fact that somebody is not exactly in control in the Ministry of Education.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to say, if they have to accommodate day pupils in boarding schools, don't they need more teachers, more desks, more classrooms, more equipment?
Definitely, there's infrastructure needed.
So who's going to pay for that? Is this 25 billion,
which
has evaporated?
Hasn't been done in the first place.
Right.
Very well. Alice Saria, you're saying each school has a responsibility to keep its values, vision, and structures, but it shouldn't be coerced. If it ain't broke, don't mend it. Nancy Tumaini, boarding schools are worse than day scholars. There's somebody here saying Uhuru should be put in the Guinness Book of Records. Tibim. You want to know this guy's name?
What's his name?
I'm not sure whether to say it. Yeah. Jaluo Jinga. Okay. You said it. It's not me. It's your name. You put your post. Let's get on to the other issue. There's a lot of publicity and a lot of razzmatazz that is characteristic of Jubilee, that we are changing the curriculum. We are moving into a new phase. We are now digital. And there is confusion about this curriculum. So this lady that I did interview, who's a teacher as well, the first thing that I did ask her was, this curriculum, how much of it are you aware of? And what she answered me was shocking. Take a look.
My name is Eunice Ndulu. As a teacher, this curriculum, me, I had it from the press. I don't know more about it. What I learned is some teachers are being tutored at Isili. The group around that is Kamukunchi. But here in Makandara, I don't know anything. I have no clue about it. But what we were told that it's that we are not supposed to start teaching using the old textbooks because the new textbooks are going to be given and the new curriculum. That is. So I don't know more about it. Yes.
She's a high school teacher.
Yeah, she's a teacher. And in the section, especially where the curriculum is being introduced, that is primary, and she says she had it from the press.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if she's a teacher and she doesn't even know the changes that are going to be made in her teaching,
right?
As in it's not being implemented. So how is she going to teach the pupils? And how long is it going to take to train all these teachers in a whole new curriculum from standard 1 to
all the way? It's
yes.
all the way up. It's a whole new system. And you see, there are very primary questions that have not been answered. What necessitated these changes so far? Before 844 came on board, there was a commission by Professor McKay and Professor Ominde, which came on board and realized that the previous system was designed to produce civil servants. That's why most of our parents were only civil servants. And because of our population growth, then we needed another system that will encourage skills that will give more jobs. So it's not clear why the system had to change fast, and it's worrying. The teachers also see it in the news like ourselves.
Or maybe it was just some distraction. They don't care about the lives of our children, you know, the future of our children, their education. It was just a distraction during this campaigns and during elections. I don't know. Who knows Jubilee? They lied to us. Who knows?
Well, I mean, I also guess that it's a big budget project.
Yes.
Yeah, because what is piecing itself together very slowly is that it's a big budget project.
Right.
And perhaps that was the motivation behind it all the same in the first place.
Another avenue to steal money.
Michael Sada, give Kenya 1 year. With this self-proclaimed government, Kenya is going to the dogs. Amina Asman.
Now in our school, we cannot teach. What we do when we go to school.
We hear you, Amina. So my interview with this lady touched on another issue still around the curriculum, training. There's one from the ministry that people are being trained. It took me 4 years to be trained as a qualified teacher. I don't know how long it will take you to be trained on a new curriculum. I don't think it's something that can take a week or even months. But let's just hear what she had to say.
Like on Friday, it was held at St. Teresa's, of which it took 1 day, starting from 9 up to 4. On Saturday, it was held at Isili Church of God. It started at 10 and it ended at 5, of which they say the tutors are so hurry, so that is, they tackle things shallowly, they don't go deep. It's just like a introduction. They are not tackling it deep. Yeah.
So that is all the training so far?
The training is like that, but with a lot of changes. Like in the last curriculum, we are using lesson planning, we were scheming. They were told that we are not supposed to scheme now, we are not supposed to lesson plan. They have some other methods. Now even like we had ECD, now they are calling it P1 and P2. Before we had baby class, nursery and pre-unit. Now they are having P1 and P2. In the primary lower classes, they are having grade 1, grade 2 and grade 3, of which they have not been told deep on how to tackle those things. Yeah. Like on Friday, it was held at St. Teresa's, of which it took 1 day.
There you go. Training. She made very clear. It takes 1 day. So I don't know if this is training. I don't know if this is a workshop. I don't know if this is a seminar.
Yeah.
Can you train somebody for one day
On a whole new
on a
curriculum.
whole new curriculum?
No, they can't. And like you said, it's a big budget thing. It's all about money, isn't it?
Right.
And I heard that the new curriculum, well, currently on the TSC, there are 300,000 teachers
Right.
on the payroll.
Right.
They say there's a deficit of 82,000 teachers if they need to, once they implement this new curriculum, because it's more practical based as opposed to oral teaching like we have currently in 844. So
my question is,
Yeah.
the timing of the training.
Yes.
Training is not bad.
Yeah.
Do you do it when the curriculum is supposed to be implemented?
Yeah.
Shouldn't this training have happened
Yes.
before?
Yeah, and it shouldn't have taken, is it less than 6 months to declare that we're going to have a change of curriculum? And by the way, like you say, a teacher learns from the press.
Yes.
Yeah, about the new curriculum. She's not received any training, and schools have opened. Haven't schools opened?
Yeah, the
so
schools have opened.
what are Form 1s learning now, or standard 1s? What exactly are they doing in class?
Well, that's the next question, because parents in class 1 were told you cannot buy books yet,
Yes.
because the Super CS has not issued
Yeah.
instructions on which books to buy.
Right.
So everybody is waiting, parents are waiting, teachers are waiting,
Yeah.
and the question is, what's happening
Yeah.
to our children in class 1?
Exactly.
Yeah, and answer this question, and this was our response. Take a look.
The child rewrite your name, count numbers 1 up to 100, 1 up to 10, like the beginners, that is P1, that the P1 they are calling. Now, in our side is nursery class. They are doing number 1 up to number 20. If it's addition, if it is subtraction, you cannot give them a number that is beyond number 20, because you don't know how the things will turn to be. Like pre-unit now, they knew number 1 up to number 50. Now they are doing number 1 up to 100. You cannot take them beyond that, and you cannot introduce anything new. We are doing something that we used to do last year, and those years behind. Now we cannot do anything. But my daughter is in class 1. I went to school. The teacher wanted to talk to me. I talked to her. I asked her about the learning, because I cannot see any homework. I cannot see anything. She told me to wait, because even them, they are in darkness. And that is a government school. It's not a private school. They are in darkness. They don't know what to start and where to head. They are waiting for them from the whatever, from the PS. To give an okay, to give the books, to give the curriculum, to give the whatever, how they are supposed to go with the teaching. Yes, there is no learning.
3 weeks later.
3 weeks now. 2 are gone. We are going to the 3rd week. Yeah.
Well, there you go. The teachers are in darkness. This is the 2nd week. Actually, it's Friday.
Yeah.
So the 3rd week begins on Monday.
Yeah.
Teachers don't know what to do. So our children in class 1 are simply idling.
So right now, the kids have already reported to school.
Yes.
They're not learning anything.
Yes.
The teachers haven't been trained.
Yes.
So the teachers will have to take time off to train.
Yes.
Yeah. In addition to 3 weeks of not teaching the pupils anyway, and then be expected to just roll out a new curriculum.
And how do they gain on the time lost? Because
Yes.
2 weeks is a long time.
It is.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
half a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember the CS at some point was told to even postpone the exams. He says, for the interest of our children,
Yes.
we can't move a single day.
Right.
And we have to open schools on the 3rd
Right.
to go and do what?
Yeah. To go and do what exactly? Primary school, though, education is free, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
supposedly.
Supposedly. But you still have to buy books. Who was talking about buying books? In some schools, you still have to buy
Yeah,
books.
you've got those little things that you have to chip in
Yeah.
here and there. So that's why it's not exactly free.
And I saw a story in the paper about children having to buy desks or having
Yeah.
to go to school with desks, primary
Yes.
school pupils.
Yeah, sure.
So where exactly is this money going to? I'm wondering.
You know, it's very disturbing if a parent can actually pay fees
Yes.
and pay teachers,
Yeah.
and they cannot teach because somebody somewhere.
Yes.
I feel like the CS, he has
Yeah.
bitten more than he can chew. Yeah, and there's a lot. I mean, this is evidence of turmoil
Yes.
in the education sector.
System, yes.
I don't know. It's time the CS decided which ministry wants to serve.
Yes.
I don't think any single person can serve the Ministry of Education and Internal Security.
Yes.
And make sure NASA does not get to Jacaranda and Raila does not get from JKIA to Woolpack.
Yes.
It's too much work.
It's too much work.
Let me just go through comments. Masaf Ken, you're saying get us top leaders. The cycle seems to get bigger each dawn. We need justice in every concerning issues. Georges currently in Jama. Wow, what a name. Does Uhuru lie? Oh no, come on. To his wife and kids like he lies to Kenyans? Niswali too. Okay, boss, I wouldn't know. But I'll kindly request, we make sure you keep it objective. Don't be personal. Josephat Miruka, kindly boss, I request you never play any video of the so-called president in court again. You know our president. Wow. I mean, guys are on fire today. Amina watching from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Baba Pishwe. Lastly, Baba Mercedes. When are we having President Raila on Opinion 2018? Well, good question. Well, we're just about to wrap up, and the last issue around this is the state of education in Kenya, transfers. Now, there are head teachers who've been transferred from particular schools. There are varied reasons, but it seems your name can betray you. It appears the sharp political divisions of 2017, the botched elections, are not going away. Some head teachers have been transferred to other schools, but the community and leaders have gone ahead and ejected them. This happened in Makueni, in Vihiga, in Bungoma. Just have a look at this clip in one of such scenarios.
Tumesema hapana sababu mean score yake ni 5 point. Na sisi tunataka mtu at least wa 9 point sababu principal mwenye ametoka ni principal mwenye ako na mean score ya 9.6.
Tumeamua kwa sauti moja kwamba huyu principal lazima aende nyumbani. Kwa hivyo Maina must go.
Tumesema
very well. There you go. Tumesema hatutaki sababu mean score yake ni 5 points na ule alikuwa ni 9 point. Well, first bossy, why would you shuffle if I fail or if I didn't do too well in my school?
Yeah.
Why would I be brought to another school and somebody who did well removed? Are we looking at particular areas that are not supposed to have good performance?
Are they taking the teachers with the high scores to schools which need better performing principals? Is it that, or?
Well, in this particular case, somebody who did well has been taken away, and the guy who's been brought did not do very well. So that's the issue.
That's the thing, the rationale. I'm just wondering if they thought maybe the better performing principal will do better in a poor performing school to elevate the standard. Is that the rationale, or?
Well, I wouldn't know, but I think it has to be very clear why you're moving people in the first place. Because people are getting increasingly conscious.
Yes.
And I mean, these grades affect where your child will be. Yes. From that point moving on in their lives. But do you get a sense that, because there was a particular name there, I don't want to mention it, but do you get a sense that people feel that certain people are not wanted in certain places?
Or I'm worried that maybe certain areas will end up with teachers from the community and they will be getting, like, money will be allocated easier to them. So I'm wondering if you're, for example, in a Jubilee area and you're a principal of a school and you've got the right surname and the right name, I'm wondering if you'll be favored by the Ministry of Education or for some reason,
So what
if
does
have
the
all
right
the people,
what does the right surname mean?
if you're from Central with a Central surname and you're a principal of a school in Central, is your school more likely to be favored by the Ministry of Education in terms of funding, or who knows, maybe even cheating at the end of the day, or getting your children getting the students into the right universities or training programs? Why should it matter what tribe your headmaster is, really?
Well, it shouldn't. I mean, that's what I'm wondering, because then it appears this whole resistance thing, whether we want to wish it away or not, is there.
Yeah.
And you have to, as a Kenyan, to increasingly be aware
Yes.
of where you are.
Yes.
Yeah, because I heard there's some sentiments that we haven't played.
Yes.
But in the background, people are saying, over and above his supposed poor performance,
Yes.
certain people
Yes.
will not be allowed to be here. This person went is one of our own.
Oh, goodness. So we're becoming much more, our ethnicity is becoming much more, we're much more sensitive to that now.
Right.
Even in schools now,
Right.
everywhere.
Yeah.
In jobs, where is it 70% in Kiambu can't be from outside Kiambu, is it? As in, it's ridiculous.
No, actually, 70% was Kilifi. This
Yeah.
one, Kiambu, they made it exclusive 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
But Kikuyus from Kiambu can work
Well, I
anywhere.
don't know if there's a formula of knowing I
Right.
am not from Kiambu,
Right.
apart from my name, or
Right.
somebody has to go and find out who
Right.
my grandfather or my father was.
Yes.
Yeah. So it really does appear that your name can betray you.
Yeah. So what's happening? Why don't we just have Central Republic and the rest of us? Because they seem to be messing up education, you know, everything, health. What actually works in
But
Jubilee?
see, when you start saying they, that
Yeah.
definition of they is a bit dangerous.
I mean Jubilee.
Oh, you mean Jubilee?
That's what I
Okay,
mean.
thank you for the
Yes.
clarification. Let me just go through the last comments before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Aman Moses, please, for this confusion to end, Baba should come to our aid. Otherwise, we are doomed. Evelyn Kavaya, Baba apishwe, wapende, wasipende, tumechoka. Moses Wakulia, Shilisia, Nairobi, Tibin. Very well, I must thank you very much for your engagement this day, your very valid comments. For those who are asking about the People's Assembly, there will be a statement read out. There's a meeting going on to address that. Those who are asking about the swearing in, 30th of January. NRM General Miguna said, and I quote, Raila Odinga will be sworn in whether he likes it or not, and whether Jubilee likes it or not.
Yeah.
Very well, thank you for watching, Boss Boy.
Thank
you. As always, thank you very much for your valid contributions.
Thank you
We
for
see you
having
again on Monday. Thank you and goodbye. Doing this job is not for the faint-hearted. It takes dedication, courage, and strength. We endure all kinds of challenges.
Hiyo ndio sababu mimi natoa shukrani